Hello friends and welcome to YouTube channel Freedom Tech, and in this session what we are going to learn. In this session we are going to count vehicles which basically park at a parking area, and we are going to use here a YOLO5. So before we move to our practical, friends, if you learn something from our videos, please consider to subscribe our channel. Okay friends, thank you so much, and let's get started. So for that, first you need to install latest opencv, yolov5 and Thony Python IDE on Windows 11 machine. Of course you can use your Windows 10 machine also. So I will mention video link, watch video and install Thony, then opencv and yolov5 on Windows machine. So for today's session I have created here a repository name is yolov5 parking count. I will mention link, copy and paste the link inside the browser, then go to the code and click on download zip. It will download our zip format repository. So we have downloaded our repository, so go show in folder, and this is the zip format. So we are going to extract our folder. So right click WinRAR and click on extract here. It will extract our folder. So we have our folder, click on it, and this is the download text file. It will basically download our video. Inside that we have a link for downloading video. So right click, click on open. This is the link, copy it, and we are going to open our browser, paste the link and just hit enter. Okay, so now we are going to click on download. So because I have already tested, that's why it say the save. Okay, when you open the link you will have here a download option, so just click on download, and now we have our parking.zip folder. So now simply click here, show in folder. This is what our parking zip format folder. So right click and WinRAR and click on extract here. So we have our video. Okay, so just cut and we are going to paste our video in our main folder where we have our Python script. So just paste it. That's it, we have now our video. So we are ready. Now we are going to open our basic Python script with the help of Thony. So inside that we have, as you can see, main.py. So just click on and we have our Thony Python IDE ready. So friends, this is what our basic code for yolov5 object detection purpose. I have mentioned basic code already in our main.py. So if you don't know how to use yolov5 for object detection, I have already created the video. I will mention video link, watch video, and you will get the idea how to use yolov5 for object detection. Okay, so this is the basic code for object detection. Okay, so because we save our video file inside the same folder, so this is what our video file name, parking.mp4. so if I start the code, just a minute, I need to mention here a 1. Okay, and then it will start our video in while loop. So if I start the code, it will detect the object, means it will detect the cars. So as you can see, this is what our video file, and this is what our parking area. As you can see, it's detecting the cars. I have mentioned here only a one class, which is the car. We don't want to detect any other objects. Okay, so this is our video file and we are going to detect the cars. As you can see, it's detecting the cars. So this is just a basic code for object detection purpose. Now we need to count the vehicles. So for that, now I am going to freeze the frame and I am going to explain the concept. So let's just save the code, and if I start the code. So friends, this is what our parking area. When our vehicles is inside this particular area, then we are going to detect our vehicles. Otherwise we are not going to detect our vehicles. So for that we need to declare this is what our region of interest area, ROI, means we are going to draw here a polylines. Okay, so for that we need a points for drawing polylines, of course. So we mention our mouse function. So then of course we have a coordinates. So if I move my mouse over here, as you can see, we have a coordinates inside the shell. So this is what our coordinates for drawing polylines. So if I move the mouse over here, we have a coordinates 26 4 4 1. So this is what our first coordinate 26 4 4 1. So we are going to create here a new variable. So let's create here a new variable which is our area. Area is equal to, in square bracket, we need a 4 coordinates. So okay, so this is what our coordinates. So first it's basically of course empty. We are going to mention our coordinates one by one. So again we are going to check the coordinates. So start from here, 19446. So 19446. So this is what our first coordinate. Then second coordinate, so let's say over here 9516. So 9 and 516, and then we are going to draw a next coordinates here, 786419. So 786419, 786419, and last one is here 720368, 720368. okay, so this is what our coordinate. If we want more coordinates, we are going to check after when we draw our polylines. So let's just first draw these points. So we are going to save the code and just stop our frame, and we are going to draw a polylines with the help of this area on our frame, on our parking spot area. So here, after where we have our rectangle for object detection, as you can see here, I have mentioned if there is car in D. If you watch my old video, then you definitely know what is this all things. Okay, so I'm not going to explain all these things again. So if there is car in D, we have a rectangle and we are going to put the text, means we are going to put the class name on our rectangle. So our class name is basically car. So here after that we are going to draw a polylines here, cv2.polylines, and inside that we are going to mention a frame. Then we are going to use here np.array. So in square bracket np.array, and then we are going to mention our area. Area variable is basically our point which we mention area, and then np.int32. okay, np.int32. then we are going to mention true, and then we need to mention the color for polylines. So let's make a green. So green is like here 0255, and then 0, and the thickness we are going to mention, let's say 2. okay, so if I save the code and if I run the code, so as you can see we have our polylines. So but there is a problem. So what we are going to do, we are going to mention here one more points. okay, here also we are going to mention one more points. So let's say in center we have 409490, 409490. So here we are going to mention 409490. where is our area? Here we are going to mention another two coordinates, 409 and 490, like this. okay, so 1 2 3 4 5. Now we have 5 coordinates. So if I save the code and if I run the code, and now it's really good. okay, so here also, as you can see, we need to make here this point we need to mention over here. So let's say the first point is basically 24433, 24433. okay, so if I save the code, if I run the code, now it's really good. okay, it's really good. So now we have our area, we draw a polylines with the help of our mouse coordinates, because we have our mouse function. So when we move our mouse cursor on our frame, we have a coordinates, and with the help of these coordinates you can simply draw the polylines using cv2.polylines method. Simple. So we draw our polylines. So this is what our area. So now what we are going to do, we are going to say when our car is in this area, then we are going to detect our object, means then we are going to detect our cars. So for that we can say here we have object detection method. Okay, we already detect the cars, but we want to detect cars in this particular area. So we can say, here it is, as you can see I have mentioned here Cx and Cy. So Cx and Cy is basically center point. So we are going to say, because we have here a cv2.point polygon test method. So with the help of cv2.point polygon test method, we can say when the center point inside our area, inside our polylines area, then we are going to say we want to draw the rectangle. Also we want to put the class name on our rectangle. Simple. So here what we are going to do, if you don't know what is this x1, y1, x2 and y2, so I have already created a video for yolov5 object detection on Windows machine. I will mention video link, watch video, then you will get the idea what is these things, x1, y1, x2 and y2. Okay, so because if I mention all these things again, video will become more longer. Okay, so here as I mentioned, now what we are going to do, we are going to mention our point polygon test method. So let's say results is equal to cv2 dot point p capital point polygon, again t capital for test, point polygon test, and inside that what we want to do, we want our area. So our area is basically what, our area is basically this np.array area np int32. so just copy this from here and we need to mention as it is. So just press Ctrl+V. Simple. Then we are going to mention, as I mentioned, what is our condition, if our center point, so we need to mention our center points over here. So like this way, in tuple format we are going to mention Cx and Cy. So it means when our center point in our area, this is what our area, polylines area, then we are going to do all these things. Okay, so results is this cv2.point polygon test mp.array area np int32. then this is what our center points Cx and Cy, and then what we want to do, we want to mention false. Simple. So if I print here this results, okay, so now what we are going to do, we need our while loop. So we are going to mention here 1, it will start our while loop. Okay, so let's just watch inside the shell. If I save the code, if I run the code, because we print results, so we have our result inside our shell. So right now there is no car inside our area. Okay, now we have a car. So here it is, as you can see inside the shell we have -1 also, and we have also 1. -1 is there, also 1. So we can say if 1 is basically our car inside our area, so we can say if our results is equal to 0 or is greater than 0, then we are going to draw rectangles and all other things. Simple. So we can mention like this way. We have here a results. So we can say if results is greater than is equal to 0, then we want, because we know what we have inside now print what we have inside results, so we are going to comment our print results method. And after that, because we create here if condition, so after that we can draw a rectangle, and we can mention our put text method for mentioning our class. Okay, so if the result is greater than 0 or is equal to 0, then we are going to detect our objects. So if I save the code and if I run the code, so now as you can see, it's detecting the cars only when, as you can see here also we have a car. Just a minute, let me show you here what we are going to do. I am going to comment this if results method, okay, and then again we are going to draw here our rectangle without our if condition. So if I save the code, if I run the code, so without if condition, as you can see, it's detecting the cars. Okay, as you can see, it's detecting the cars which we don't have inside our area. This is what our area, and we want to detect our cars when our cars only in this area. It's detecting the cars from out of our area also. Okay, so now what we have here, it is, as you can see, it's detecting the cars from this area. So what we are going to do, for that we mention our condition. If the result is equal to 0 or if it is greater than 0, then we are going to do all these things. So now we can say if the result is equal to 0 or if it is greater than 0. So now we can draw the rectangle and we are going to mention our class on our rectangle. So now we will have our final result, and as you can see, it's detecting the cars only this area, only particular this area, our region of interest area. Okay, simple. So we have done. Now what we are going to do, as I mentioned, we need to count our cars. So simple, we have our CX, okay, we have our CX. So we can simply call our CX over here. We are going to create a list for CX, our center point, because our center point is when it is inside when it is basically inside our area, then we are going to create the list. Simple. So this is our if condition. So after that we are going to create here list dot append, and inside that we are going to mention our CX, this one. Okay, so here what we want to do, we want to create our empty list over here. Okay, so let's create here list is equal to empty list. Simple. Save it, and then we are going to call our list when we draw our polylines after here. Okay, here we want to call our list. So print list, what we are going to do, we are going to mention a length of list. So length of our list. Now let's watch magic. Okay, so here what I am going to do, I am going to use basically we are going to freeze the frame, and then we are going to press any key from keyboard, then we will get the idea. Okay, but the result is basically frame by frame. So if I save the code and if I run the code, so now we need to, as you can see right now, just a minute, because we have our mouse function. So when I move the mouse cursor, we have basically the mouse coordinates. So let's just say like this way. As you can see right now, inside the shell we have 0, means there is no car. Okay, so I'm going to press a key continuously, and as you can see, we have now here we have 4. So 4 is basically a length of our CX, our car center point, our rectangle center point. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4 cars. Okay, so again I am going to, now as you can see 6. So if you count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have 6 cars. Okay, so again let's, now there is no cars. As you can see, inside shell we have 0. we have one car, inside shelf we have one. So we successfully counting the cars when our car is inside our region of interest area. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to simply mention a put text method, and we are going to mention our count on our frame. So simple, what we are going to do, we have here our put text method. So just copy the method, and here we have our length. So we know what we have inside our A, so simply we are going to comment these things, and we are going to say our put text method. So press Ctrl V, because we copy our CVT put text method from here. So here we can just paste, and then here we need to mention A, because A is our length of list. Simple. And we need a coordinates for mentioning our text on our frame. So just save it, and we are going to run our frame. Then we will get the coordinates for our put text method. So let's put our here text over here. So 5049, so 5049 is our coordinates. So just remove this x1, 50 and 49. Simple. So now what I am going to do, I am going to start our frame in while loop, because this is the time lapse video, so it's really fast. So we are going to create here, let's say time dot slip, let's say 0.1, and I am going to mention import time here, import time. Okay, so if I save the code and if I run the code, now video will be go a little bit slow. Okay, so right now there is no car, 0. As you can see, 4 5 6, 5 cars, 4 cars. Now there is no cars again. So we are successfully counting the cars in particular area, as you can see. Again there is no car, 0 0. As you can see, we have again cars. So you can use your own video for this method. Okay, so I hope you learned something from this video. We'll meet our next video. Till then, thank you, take care, and bye bye.